Boy, you kind of snuck up on me there.
I am very, very sneaky, sir.
Here are 10 sneaky reasons fast food looks better in commercials. If you were expecting the burger you saw on TV, but instead got a mushy, half-assembled meal, well, there's a reason for that.
Look at this sorry, miserable squashed thing.
Undercooked on Purpose.
I love it!
When you're craving a juicy, greasy burger, there's really nothing that can make your stomach change its mind. So where do you go? Probably to your nearest fast food joint to get your hands on the biggest one they have on the menu. But have you ever wondered why the half-pound burger pictured on the menu usually looks more like a quarter-pounder once it's in front of you? If so, the explanation is really easy. Food stylists.
There you go. Beautiful.
Thank you.
No, I was talking about his technique.
They will do anything to make the meat look juicier. The juicy patty you see in the picture is mostly undercooked in order to make them look plumper than their well-done counterparts. Plus, when the beef is cooked all the way through, it comes with a significant amount of shrinkage, inevitably making the patty smaller and drier. But beef isn't the only thing that's undercooked on purpose in order to look nicer for the camera. Another meat, bacon, also undergoes the same treatment. The truth is, most fast food bacon is usually flat, limp, and not at all appetizing. But instead of bettering the bacon itself, fast food chains just figured they could trick people into thinking it was actually tasty. So how do they make it look good? Food stylists simply spend a ridiculously long time cooking the bacon by weaving it over and under tubes and then put it in the oven. That way they get the perfect ribbon effect, which looks absolutely breathtaking. So next time you go to satisfy that craving, don't be surprised if the burger doesn't meet your commercial expectations.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
A pretty polished patty.
If you have to get to the beauty department, God knows how long that's going to take.
Yes, burger patties in commercials are undercooked, but that's not the only thing these little discs have to endure. The beef patties you see in commercials also have to go through a complete makeover in order to be presentable. A juicy appearance isn't everything. They also need to look perfectly charred and apparently shiny as well. Food stylists will go to great lengths to transform the patties and make them look like they were fresh off the grill. Obviously, the $2 fast food burger you ordered wasn't cooked over a blazing fire, but that's what the commercials want to make you believe. This is why those enticing grill marks have been added after they were already cooked. Scandal.
You're being serious right now? Mm-hmm. Because I was only like 67% sure.
While it can be heartbreaking, it is very true. One of the methods used to achieve this freshly seared look is an electric charcoal starter. They press the hot tool onto the meat, which creates the perfect lines without having touched a grill even once. They might look convincing, but in reality, they are flavorless imposter char marks. But making the patties look charred is only one step before being camera ready. After the undercooked patties are marked, they then head to makeup for some touching up. This is when they are covered in none other than shoe polish to make them more irresistible. No wonder these pictures look flawless. The same thing that shines up your boots is used to give the burger its final look. You know what they say, appearances can be deceiving.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Yummy ice cream or starchy potato?
It's ice cream. Le glace. Whatever.
There's nothing like a nice ice cream cone to end a fast food meal. However, if you tasted the ones you see in commercials, you would probably lay off the stuff for a very long time. Indeed, what you see on TV is not exactly the same tasty ice cream you're served. Instead, it's another edible thing, only from a different food group. You see, in studios, it can get very hot, mostly because of the bright lights, so the ice cream would melt instantly, and let's just say a half-melted milkshake wouldn't have the same effect as a perfectly presented one. To avoid a melted mess, they usually use mashed potatoes to play the role of the ice cream.
Taters are just about done.
Yes, mashed potatoes. Food stylists simply color them, fill up the cone or glass, and ta-da! If they don't have any potatoes on hand, they can also use a paste made of starch, icing sugar, corn syrup, fat, and other components that will make the whole thing look as realistic as possible. As for the compelling dollop of whipped cream that usually sits on top of the ice cream, yeah, that's not real either. It's most likely a generous portion of shaving cream, since, again, real whipped cream would simply melt.
I'm melting! Melting!
Fake steam.
Most of the stuff in here is fake.
Have you ever seen a commercial with a fresh, steaming plate of food and immediately got a craving for it? Honestly, it's probably happened more than once, and unsurprisingly enough, food advertisers know that way too well. This is why they show meals looking like they just got out of the oven. But the steam and smoke show you see happening on screen isn't even real. Well, that depends on your definition of real, of course.
This isn't real.
What is real?
To make everything look like it came right out of the oven or right off the grill, food experts use a plethora of crazy methods. For starters, they can use a steamer, which they pass over the food a few times to make it smoke. That one isn't so weird. They can also use a special device to simulate steam. But another method is to use cotton. Photographers will microwave a water-soaked tampon and hide it under or behind the food. The cotton can hold steam for a few minutes, which will give a steady stream of steam perfect for pictures. Of course, they can always use a regular cotton ball and sponges to get the same effect. No matter what method they use to make the food look hot and steamy, you can be sure of one thing: there is no way that food is giving off steam on its own.
Well, it's not easy, that's for sure.
Secret ingredients.
They don't know that we know they know we know.
By now, it's no secret that food in commercials and food in real life are two completely different things. But even though we're all aware of it, we still get played every single time because, well, we have to eat and everything on TV just always looks so darn good. So let's talk more about a few secret ingredients food stylists use in their preparations that fool even the best of us.
That's classified.
It's what?
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
First of all, you know that tempting stack of pancakes that simply looks decadent? You might want to stay away from the photo version if you want to avoid eating some pretty despicable things. A, the pancakes have probably been sprayed with a water repellent that creates a protective layer and allows the syrup to stick. And B, that syrup isn't even syrup. Since the pancakes would absorb real syrup too quickly, photographers replace it with engine oil. Plus, the real thing wouldn't be dark enough to pass for syrup on camera. Strange, isn't it? The other thing they tamper with? Sauces. Yummy, tangy sauces dripping down the sides are usually mixed with a very unexpected ingredient, wax. Yes, sauces usually have added wax in them to avoid separation and dullness, as well as ensuring the condiments stay presentable for long photo sessions. It also helps to provide that extra bright color that we and the camera simply love.
Come on, give it to me. Come on, work it.
Non-fresh produce. Much like the bacon situation, compared to the commercials, the produce doesn't usually look too impressive when right in front of you either. Answer truthfully, when's the last time you got a burger and the vegetables actually looked appetizing? Probably never, unless you're thinking of the commercial. In commercials, the lettuce looks extra crisp, the tomatoes freshly cut and right from the garden, and it makes the whole meal look way better than it actually is. Turns out there's a reason for that. In reality, your vegetables are most likely pale, droopy, and probably limp. But in the ads, there's a way to fix that. Obviously, the best of the crop will be used for the pictures right off the bat.
You're the best of the best,
Yes, I know, darling.
But they will also be accompanied by a generous amount of glycerin or hairspray to make them nice and shiny. Not only will the spray make the produce stay intact, but it will also give the veggies the distinct dewdrops that make them so irresistible. So while you might think that the vegetables in your burger are going to be ripe and juicy, don't expect too much. The truth is, you will probably end up disappointed with a sandwich loaded with old, lumpy tomatoes and no crunch lettuce. And well, since hairspray tomatoes aren't good for us, we're stuck with the duds.
Ew, gross.
Meticulous choices.
I want one.
No.
In the food advertising biz, nothing is left to chance. Every single item needs to be carefully handpicked and transformed to fit the standard of food beauty. From vegetables to the bun, everything is meticulously done. Speaking of buns, did you ever wonder why the sesame seeds always look so perfect in every single picture? Well, yes, it is because the best of the best was chosen to be the star of the picture, but it's also because stylists use their savvy tricks and strategies to make them look mouthwatering. And that includes painstakingly arranging each seed with tweezers and glue.
What did you say?
You heard that right. Someone really has to place those sesame seeds one by one and arrange them in the best pattern that will look good on camera. It's what makes the burger really shine, apparently. Who said taking pictures of food wasn't tedious work? Hours and hours are spent to make sure the whole burger is constructed perfectly, from the tweezer-placed sesame seeds and onions to the syringes of ketchup and mustard injected into the final product, all to make the burger as beautiful and appetizing as possible. Inedible Objects.
I am ready to receive instruction for the sandwich I am about to conceive.
Now that you've got all the fake ingredients and insider tips on how to make the perfect TV burger, it's time to actually assemble the thing. So you need to take your shoe-polished, fake-grilled, undercooked patty, your sprayed veggies, carefully chosen bun with hand-placed seeds, along with all of the other fake toppings, and put it all together to create one mighty sandwich. Of course, that's no easy task, as you can imagine. You can't just wing it and hope for the best. No, it requires a lot of calculations, manual work, and fighting gravity, which is not something you would expect when building a burger.
We don't have the math figured out yet.
Using pins and cardboard, it's like playing at the arts and crafts table, but you trade your macaroni and glue for beef and hairspray. The cardboard is used between layers of the burger to keep anything from sinking or squishing together, which wouldn't make for a very appetizing look. As for the pins, they're there to keep everything exactly where it should be, without the sliding of toppings or wayward waxed condiments getting away. The cardboard technique isn't only used in burgers, though. It's also used to take perfect pictures of cakes. To keep the cakes dry and nicely separated, food stylists will use pieces of cardboard to keep them from touching and fasten them with toothpicks to keep them from moving around or sagging. In other words, they might look extremely appetizing, but you probably wouldn't even be able to take a bite.
I can't eat that.
Unbubbly Drinks.
Bubbles! I love the bubbles!
What's better than a cold, bubbly can of soda to wash down your meal? And commercials are particularly good at making those drinks look extra bubbly. However, don't be fooled. It's not because they have a special kind of soda that makes more bubbles. It's because of the little extra ingredient photographers will put in it to make it more alluring. Yep, those over-the-top fizzy drinks and pictures are actually most likely fake and have simply been created using antacids.
No, I'm a liar.
Not exactly the most appetizing drink after all, is it? And the best way to make soda look even more refreshing, just add some ice cubes. But you see where this is going, right? Obviously, they don't use real ice cubes since they would immediately melt under the harsh lighting. So instead, they go for plastic substitutes. But the beverage deception doesn't end there. In order to make a lot of other drinks look fresh and tasty, like milk, coffee, or even beer, food stylists need to turn to a not-so-drinkable liquid, dish soap. That dish soap will create a lasting, stable, and uniform foam that will look natural and attractive on camera, which is the look they are going for. For milk, it's the freshly poured glow. For beer, it's the bubbly, foamy goodness. And for coffee, it makes the perfect cappuccino foam.
Homer, that's dishwashing liquid.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
It's all about appearances.
How do I look?
With technology evolving every day, we can now do things that would have seemed impossible not too long ago. It then shouldn't be surprising to hear that the fast food pictures you see plastered on billboards and bus stops have been madly modified and photoshopped. Yes, even despite the hours spent on meticulous prep and expert placement of ingredients, the final image still can't escape computer editing. Experts will go over the pictures to remove any possible blemishes, fix any kind of imperfections that might have been missed by the photographers, and will make the colors pop with a little bit of enhancing. Forget all of the wax, hairspray, and shoe polish that's put onto the item to make it look flawless. The real reason why the food you ordered looks nothing like the one you see in the pictures has everything to do with the impossible Photoshop expectations.
Seriously? It's like you're photoshopped.
So next time you're staring at a picture of a perfectly plump burger and wonder why your Big Mac never even looks half as good, just remember this. Your food was probably prepared in under 30 seconds, and that picture took an entire team hours and even days of work. Wouldn't you rather eat the real thing? Maybe it's a little less pretty, but at least it's not toxic. That's what we thought.
I love this burger. It's so delicious.
Get a taste of more great videos. Just tap or click. And hey, leave us a comment, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell.